Check, check, 1, 2. Hoping y'all can hear me. It is 3:46 in the afternoon. So that's fun. Let me check if I got everything working. Hello, hello. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2. Hoping y'all can hear me. Well, that works. Okay, now we know that works. Okay, I'm gonna cut the mic down some. It's a little loud. Today we are reacting. Hello, that one British cheese. What's up? How you doing? Too many highs? No, you're fine, man. Just don't spam. But I think that was a very normal amount of highs. I've said hi 3 times to somebody. We all have, right? All right. But welcome to the STREAM stream. Hello, Roy Terrens. How you doing, mate? Today we are reacting to these cringe videos, aka my older videos. And if you go to my main channel, you'll find these. This is not my oldest video. Hello there test is what it's called. That's not my oldest. My real oldest is in here in playlists, and then you go to old videos. There's 43 of them that are not listed on the channel at all. And that is it's a lot. Anyway, we're gonna start here, I think. Yeah, we're gonna start here. 106 views. This thing may have had 5 when it was like the first couple years of me uploading it, but now it's at that number, 106. It's pretty crazy. But we're can y'all hear this actually? Let me figure that out first. Hold on. All right, we played the intro there. It should have music with it. Um yeah, it has music with, so we should be able to. The stream I have going up right now just to test all the sound and stuff is very delayed. Just double check it. Oof, y'all cannot. That's interesting. Oh, and look at that. I'm about to run a battery. We're gonna plug this in real quick, and then is there a way to get sound going on the? Okay, no, it doesn't look like it. Settings. Hopefully, I don't face reveal. Hee 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 hee. All right. So we're not gonna get audio, but that's fine because we don't really need it. It's more visual stuff. So I'm gonna have to struggle through this, not y'all. But if you guys have like free time or something, feel free to go back and watch these. They're in the old videos playlist. I would not recommend that, but do what you see fit. All right, we'll start this thing with the intro. I do kind of wish we could get audio, but unfortunately we can't. Sorry, guys. Intro was pretty sick back in the day. Oh my gosh. If y'all could hear my voice right now. Oh my goodness. That's atrocious. This was when I don't even know how old I was, but my voice hadn't changed yet, and my voice is like 85 octaves higher. Oh gosh. And this was before I knew how to like properly work a microphone, and there were mic spikes every time I talked. It's like boom, 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 boom. Now I've got a pop filter on it, but good grief, you could just hear it snapping. Actually, I could turn on subtitles for y'all. That's Yeah. Every time I would like say P or something, it would just the mic would spike. Oh yeah, my name is Tom, by the way. It's not. My real name is Thomas. It's Probably somewhere on here, but I prefer to go by Starbrick 7 just because that's what everybody else does. So Starbrick 7 it is. And yeah. A16, what's up, dude? So I'm ranting about the plural for the word Lego. That's ridiculous. Let's see if I can make the subtitles bigger. Ooh, here we go. Font size. We'll go 200. I don't want to block anything. We'll go 150. That's right in the middle. Font size 150. There we go. We're good. I can also move this around if need be. So won't be here long. Ah, that's fine. Nice. Enjoy what you do see. You can come back and watch it later. I'll have this uploaded. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like Disney Channel level humor here. That's kind of what I was. It wasn't what I was going for, but that's li- it. Just what it sounds like verbatim. It's just a Disney Channel type show. All right, so I had these two side characters. When I had. Oh wow, look at there, guys. This is history right here. This is my first ever stop motion film on screen. Let me move this down. This is my first ever stop motion film I ever did. That's it. Just them walking. That's the whole thing. Yeah. Uh, so cool history right there. And the audio fluctuated between my like I don't know my iPad mic and my actual mic. It was so bad. You guys reacted to your old videos too? Yeah. Golly, I've been there. I haven't I haven't watched this in a couple months. Notice I say tell me if you like the characters, tell me if you like the intro. Comments are not on for this video. So no feedback was given. The editing is really bad too. Golly, I've evolved so much. And then I've got a ton of other videos, set reviews. I had like some fun like channel like lore, I guess, like some like side quests along with the set review. Like we can probably find one. Oh yeah. I reviewed Ahsoka's not Ahsoka's, but just the AAT, and then it would cut to something like this. Wait, yo, that's ridiculous. Peak. Oh, got him. And you had like just wiggling the rod to make it move. It's old. I only had like 5 stormtroopers. Robs, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, just a little bit of that there. You can like even see like on this officer's neck, the his head isn't even pushed all the way down. And then you had like all this stuff, more reviews. I had an unboxing video at one point. That was a flop. Um, Justifier. So I had the cool things to do with Lego series, Lego battle packs everyone wants. That was a fun one to do. That was the first one I actually like made a thumbnail for. This is this is a good one to watch here. Green Samurai Bricks. What's up? This is when I made my droid army, and I bought a ton of custom like battle droids and stuff online. Oh, I have the B2's arms wrong. They're like outward. That's weird. Commando droids. The editing kind of improves once I get the base plate, kind of secured and all that. Whoa, golly! Turn down the music there. The montage music is insanely loud. Yeah, so these are all like custom, except for these front two, and then maybe some battle droids. I'm not exactly sure. This was again 3 years ago, so technically four because it's been longer than 3 years. I had two AATs, still have two. Um, uh, I have two ATTs now, so I have two of these plus the newer version from the 327th. I have two of those. Um, I, wait, whoa, how many did I have? Six. Okay, I have like I don't know, 10 now. A pilot droid. I think I have four of those now. Oh yeah, that was the old laptop before I got a new one. That was my custom. What's it called? The droid with the rotating head. That was my custom one. It looks pretty good though. I still have. Can y'all hear me now? Hello, hello. Right here. Hello, hello. We should be up there now. Can y'all hear me now? All right, yeah, we're good. We're good. All right, yeah. So this is my army by the end of it. You can see my desk is so cluttered. I got pens up here, random figs and pieces, a Chick-fil-A cup right there. That was common in some of the older videos. Just random stuff on the board. Yeah, had a ton of droids and tanks here. My backdrop evolved as well over time. Um, like by the end of it, I had like I don't know, 20 something boxes of just, and it was my backdrop served as a backdrop. It's pretty cool. Um, the rest is just set reviews. My editing got a lot better. Making Lego Inquisitors was an awesome video, one of my favorites. Ranking all of Star Wars. These three are great videos. If I were to recommend any from these playlists, I'd watch these because I rank all of Star Wars and it's interesting. I've got some hot takes, but for the most part, they're opinions for sure. And then just more set reviews. A skeleton crew review. I kind of stopped doing those because they're not Lego focused for the most part. So yeah, now we're actually gonna get into the good stuff, which is the stop motion films. Actually, wait, I do have one more that I want to show y'all. Old videos. I had a collab with one of my friends' YouTube channels because we both loved Lego. Starbuck, you should make a playlist with all the vids you voiced in. That's not a bad idea. I have to remember all of them. I've only voiced in maybe like 3 or 4, but yeah, it's not a bad idea. A lot of other YouTubers do that, so yeah, maybe I should. Where's the collab? There it is. So me and my friend, we both love Lego and stuff, and we both had channels, so we were like, let's just do a collab of us building a mock or something, and then so that was it. Let's see. So I built a mock, and then I did a stop motion film for it. This is the stop motion film. This is my first ever Clone Wars film, technically. To kind of just lay down after getting hit, vertical rolling. And if you look here, like if I go back some, like if you look right here, I literally used Play-Doh to hold the pieces there. TO Studios, hey man. Uh, this droidic is missing a gun too on this side. But I held it with a rod, and then it would get stuck using Play-Doh of all things. And it just chaos. This guy jumps on the barrel, does a cartwheel, puts a lightsaber in the barrel, I think. Maybe it was just a piece I had or something. And then he jumps off, and then there's an explosion sound effect, but basically it blows up. But that's all of that. So great. That was my first stop motion film ever. Um Shadow Armor beat Cody's mission for most. Whoa. Shadow Armor's popular. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew it was like on par, but I didn't know it had beat it yet. Wow. Okay. That tells me stuff. That tells me y'all like Shadow Armor. Cool. That is not worth watching. 14 seconds. Not worth watching. That one's none of these are reinforcements is where we'll start. The other four are fine. Nothing really happens of value in them. This was my first ever big film here. I really wish y'all could hear it because the voice acting is just hilarious. How is Phase 2 and Phase 1 troops in the same battle? I know, right? Dude, that's my first thought every time I watch this video. Is like, oh my gosh, I have Phase 1 and Phase 2 troops in the same video. I was young. I didn't really have a great understanding of the lore, so this looks fine. The blasting and stuff. So basically, he's just explaining like, oh, I liked my own video. I don't do that anymore, but basically saying that the troops on the surface are need reinforcements or else they're gonna die. Like this blasting looks fine. This looks really good for a beginner anyway. So does this. Like it's a battle, you know. Explosion, not too bad. The lighting is really harsh, and the AATs come in. Boom. Thank you. I did not say thank you anyway. YouTube subtitles are weird sometimes. Oh yeah, AV cannon's gone. You can see on here that oh man, come on, I gotta time it. Do you have Discord? I do not. Sorry, man. Yeah, one of the gunners had a purple arm, which I thought was kind of cool at the time. And he's telling him, "We don't have any reinforcements to give you. Sorry, bro." I love Cody's mission. It is my favorite video of yours, not because the names they gave some of your troop. Totally not because. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They are canon. I think most of them are. Yeah, most of them are in the next part. Anyway, but he's basically saying we're gonna fight until we die. And then Captain Fordo. I got these custom clones. They were amazing. And I was like, I'm making a stop motion film with these. And there's like, this guy jumps down from nowhere. This scene is probably the best here with Fordo rushing up and stuff. Droids. Dude, like that was sick. Fordo's like rush. He pushes down one droid while shooting the other one. Shoots this B2, knocks it down, and then shoots him twice for good measure. Like that was pretty cool. This guy's just walking while they all die around him. Knocks one over, stabs the other. Boom. Blows up one tank. Takes the droid out. And then just talking here. Yeah, that clone at Aura, this guy right here, he did just brush off a tank round, basically. But yeah. Oh, and this is what's really interesting about this film. They receive Order 66, but there's no Jedi around them. That was something I always wondered. And this like shocked me today that when I was little I came up with this thing because that's such an interesting plot point that's really never been like thought out before. I don't think is clones who were on the battlefield received Order 66, but there's no Jedi. What did they do? And so for this, I kind of just like only Fordo knew what it meant, while the other ones didn't. And maybe it's not 100% canon. Maybe the ones who didn't have a Jedi didn't receive the order, but I like to think they did. Either way, they go to attack this place. Battle's about to go down, but then they attack, yeah. But the droids aren't attacking back. They're all just unfazed because the droids all received the shutdown order after Order 66, so they don't do anything. And then basically it's just like Fordo realizing that the war's over. He has no purpose in the end. I don't consider this canon anymore, obviously, but it was a super interesting film to make. Um, of course, Martini JM Studios version of Fordo on Coruscant is far, far better. So, yeah, that's that. And now we'll get to the next film. Order 99. No camas. That's right. No wastegapes at all. I probably should have, but I made that video before Lego stopped putting wastegapes on clones, so you can't blame me for that. Then there was the random fight series. This is when my animation greatly improved. We'll watch the what's the longest one? Watch this one. Ah, yes, Bounty, not sponsored. Thank you, Bounty. All right. So basically, he walks up. That walking animation looked pretty good. Hold on, let me slow this down. We don't need to. Moving on. Will you do Battle of Coruscant? It's not in my plans right now, but maybe in the future. Like this looks really good. Just for I increased my FPS, made stuff, added a bit more effects. He kind of brushes off the shot. Like that drag there was really cool. Like even if it's not perfect, like the camera's moving around randomly, you know, there's some things that just kind of statically move, but you can still appreciate this. He's rushing at him. Boom, another shot. They just bounce off him. But he takes off his glove and boom, he's down again. Guns! This was the most impressive thing I had ever done at the time. He gets hit, and then watch his right arm here. Just watch, like, see it has printing on it? Ooh, did y'all see that? Hold on, look closely. The armor gets knocked off. Yeah, you'll see that green piece? His armor got knocked off. That's pretty cool. He's still not down. Tackles him, knocks off all his armor, loses his hand in the process. The other guy gets up too. Quick draw. Misses. There's the knife. Boom. That lightning looked really cool. And then Duckman comes to save the day. I should do Battle of Coruscant? Yeah, I probably should. Not something I want to do at the moment, though. Gives it to Duckman. Takes the final shot. The end. But, yikes. These guys, this was basically like a kind of an Avengers moment. These guys are from previous parts of the Random Fight series, so that's why that's significant. Anyway, those were a lot of fun to do. So that's that. If you do battle on Coruscant, do it with a 212 since maybe they're on Coruscant since Kenobi was at the battle. Was he? Oh, that is true. That's a good point. I never thought about that. But what's that battle where they're on the bridge right before they go to Coruscant? Anaxis? No, not Anaxis. Urbana, I think it is. Yeah, Urbana. I think that's where most of them were at the time. And then they kind of just stuck around until Utapau. That's what I like to think, but I could be wrong. It's a fun thing to explore, though. I'll think about that. Imperial Remnants, we won't watch all of this, but this is the biggest sort of film I had. It was, thank you, Target. And thank you, PBS Kids. Wow, yes, indeed. Okay. So this was sort of I was inspired by the like Imperial warlords from Star Wars Legends, and this was kind of my iteration of it. So this is the Imperial Remnant dude. He looks really cool with like the spikes and the cape and the battle damaged armor. Really fun design there. Basically, boom. And he's dead. He threatens the New Republic, and then The rebels kind of retaliate. TIE bomber crashes into him. It explodes. Yeah, they're gone. And then one of his troopers decides to betray him. Right hand man shoots a pistol, stabs, boom. Congrats on 2K. Thank you, Brick Motion Studios Lego. Yeah, I almost didn't realize we're at 2K now. By the way, for those watching, the next goal will be 5K, not 3K, because uh I like to hit a bigger milestone than just 3. Oh, and this part is cool. It just slams into him. Whoa. That came out of nowhere. 5K will be very well deserved. Thank you. Or more. Yes. I personally don't see myself getting past 10K, but I would certainly love to. Stop motion's just not a popular art format anymore, unfortunately. Oof. Princess Leia shows up as a Jedi, which I thought was cool. See, just so many like cool little plot points I explored in my earlier films. Not Beskar Spear, he just insta dies. That was a pretty cool one. Do you get money from YouTube? So yes and no. I do, but the problem is, so all of my news videos with like 90,000 views and stuff can't get monetized because they use copyright music. So if I had used just like YouTube's audio library, I would have gotten a lot of money off of those. But since I didn't, I haven't really made that much. I can't make money off of those. And I've only made money off of the ones that don't use copyrighted music. So that's that. What's next? We just Imperial Remnants. There are 2 deleted scenes from that film, which was pretty cool. Chad, is this real? Indeed, it is real, Captain Diesel. We got this duel thing. That's not a great film. 501st Builds a Wall is a fun one. I got so many political comments about this one because they were, building a wall. But it was like that's not what I was going for. Animation is greatly improved on this one. Basically, no dialogue here. Just oh, there's no subtitles, huh? It's just a montage of them building. I love this guy. Tetris. Tetris is such a great game. This little cutaway thing here. I really wish there was audio, but I guess I can't really get it. The droids show up. They shoot, break the wall. They'll start blasting. Anakin shows up. The tank is obliterated. Old but gold. That's right. Oh, that's cool. That was fun. That was a good film to work on. I remember because when I got those pieces, I was so excited, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just build, or let's make a video surrounding the Lego pieces that I have. And so I did, and it was a lot of fun. Really glad with how that turned out. Stop motion test. You can find basically everything I did in here in another video because if you look here, foreshadowing here, that's the early version of the shadow armor right there. That's like the kind of design I was going for. And going like it's just and this came out like 2 years before Shadow Armor. I had the plan to do Shadow Armor for so long. I finally got to do it. Anyway, really cool. Some cool drag effects there too. A sword, boom, shotgun. Some sort of like mutation thing. That was cool. Whoa. But yeah, those are just some tests that I did for some special films, specifically Shadow Armor. Not sure what the other two were for. I think I might have used them a bit later. The one right here with the laser was particle effects. So was the other one. Mostly just me, you, and SB were in CC's vid. That's right, dude. Dude, that was really cool. Whole community coming together. I had no idea as well. I thought it was just gonna be like me and like maybe two or three other guys, but no, we got like 10 people. It's crazy. This There's a bit of backstory behind this film. This was the first film that got the attention of somebody famous, and y'all want to know who that famous person was? CC Trooper 27 himself. He commented, said, "Hey, great work. This is cool." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I watched this guy." And so I said, "Thanks for commenting." And that's kind of what gave me the motivation to keep making like stop motion films because at this point I was still doing like set reviews and stop motion films, and I was like, "Well, I got to do one or the other." And it seems like stop motion is my strong suit now that I've gotten so much better at it. So I kind of just moved to stop motion, got rid of the set review videos, and now I'm here. This thing is a masterpiece. It's not. If you look at the camera, it's shaking a little bit, focusing in and out on random things. I've since improved my lightsaber drag as well, so boom. Sound effects in this are also so killer. Like I nailed this. Not to be not humble. Sorry. I've also since I don't know if it's no, I said that. Wow, that's brutal. See, I made this kind of because I was playing Jedi Survivor, I think, at this time, and also I was happy with the dismemberment, but I wasn't like I wanted the full thing, you know. Like lightsabers should be able to chop a droid clean in half, so why can't you do that? And I took it a bit too far here. Literally cuts his arm off, cuts his head off, and then chops through his body. So kind of violent there. Not a force choke. Green Samurai Bricks, you're live streaming among us right now. All right, sounds good. Ooh, stab, nice. And then you got the hammer dude. These guys are always annoying. Wonderful film, man. That was like, and all right. So many of y'all think like most people learn stop motion over time. I didn't. I rarely looked at like stop motion tutorials or anything. I basically taught myself because there wasn't like that's not entirely true. I watched stop motion, but and I kind of just learned from just watching other people. I didn't like slow it down and analyze it. I was just kind of like, oh, that's cool. Like drag effects. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe I should try that or something. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. Yo, get the GCC Dogma Purge Trooper. Reading my mind. I wanted that. Still thinking about buying it. Still thinking about doing some cool stop motion with that. Hint, hint. But not right now. Still got a bunch of other films I'm working on. So definitely in the future though. Something happening with that. It was 11 months ago. Jeez. Then we get to Rebel Retreat, which was another really really fun one. Starbreak, have you seen Breaking Bad? Yeah, sorry. No, I've not seen Breaking Bad. But yeah, I got two voice actors, CC Trooper 27 himself, and Open Shutter Films, two guys who were awesome at the time. Well, still are awesome, but I viewed them as like inspirations and stuff. So really exciting to get them on the video. Why are there no subtitles? That's annoying. I want to hear this brilliant, or I want y'all to at least view the words of this brilliant voice acting. So that's Jared, um, the guy who gets captured in the end. Spoilers, I know. And that's Silas who escapes. And then I don't really name anyone else. I don't think. Oh wait, this Trandoshan guy I do name. What's this guy's name? I forget, but I have it listed somewhere, and he's important. So you can definitely tell that most of my stuff is inspired by CC Trooper 27. There's a lot of parallels. I do like to do my own thing most of the time, though. Like the animation, there's a few things taken from his stuff, but I also like to, like my blaster effects now have lighting, and there's a few differences. I love this door. It's three studs, so that means you can't walk in the middle of it, so you have to walk on either side. And that was such a pain to animate when I realized it because, man. Also, I don't think I recognized the like just fun of that scene there. Open Shutter Films, the voice of this sort of what's his name? It's in the description, I think. Let's see. General Caiaphas. That was his name. Yeah, Caiaphas. Some of you may understand that Caiaphas reference there. Wait. I forgot about these guys. This was funny. I'm getting to bump into each. Always love adding a little bit of humor to things. This guy has so much aura in the back. He got the green arms, the gun on his back. No one else has their gun on their back. I'd like to add. They're all just kind of like everyone's holding their blasters. This guy just got it in his sheath, ready to throw hands at any time. Amazing. I have to go to sleep by. I should probably sleep too. I'm pretty exhausted. I did sleep for a little bit before this, but not enough. CC Trooper 27 voices this guy right here, by the way. Forget his name as well. Also, if you watch this and just notice, like, there's some weird filter kind of going on, like flicker. It's not light flicker, but it's just like shutter kind of flicker. Um, I later fixed that in my later films. Clone Animations, what's up, bro? I love this door. Do you hear that? Boom. They block the door with all the junk. I love that it's such a linear path too. Like this base follows like a section of the base. Like the first part was the entrance, then they got the command center, then this sort of other storage area in the back. Gets a magazine there. Finds the pistol that he would later use. Oh yeah, here we go. In the back here, there's a Phase 1 clone trooper helmet. It's just like a reference, I guess. We got a Jade Blade from Ninjago right here. I always love to include at least one Ninjago thing in my films. A Commando droid head, which would uh, not reference, but hint at Cody's mission, which had a ton of Commando droids. And then this, I don't know, is this a shield or a claw or something? Don't know what that is. It was just a random piece I found. And of course, the stud shooter. Dang, Ugnaught gone. Nice throw, dude. Destroyed that guy. No! This guy died. I'm kidding. I already knew that. But, like, this guy, he was my first favorite character throughout this film just because his design looked pretty cool. RIP CC Trooper 27's character there. The ghost, right? The ghost with Chopper. Got the little hand there. That's pretty cool. Jared kind of sacrifices himself there so they could escape. And then he kind of tries to, but like every hero, doesn't always work out. Get shot in the leg by Caiaphas here. Boom. Awesome. They escape on the ship, which just looks like a gray building, but and Jared gets captured. They fly away. Yep. Dun 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 to be continued. And yes, this will be continued one day. Next is Cody's mission. Yes. My favorite. Well, I don't know if it's my favorite. Brought to you by Max Car. And whatever this is. Does anybody legitimately use eBay? I've only used it like twice. All right. We'll start from the early battle because this is just holograms and stuff. The only issues is the beginning scene. It's still got that weird camera flicker and the lighting is insanely harsh. Just look on the helmets. It's like you can't even see. Like it's just that's kind of rough. That looks really good. These droids getting destroyed right here. Another problem with this is the battle, the like shooting animations, especially for the clones, being way too exaggerated. In Star Wars, blasters don't really have much recoil, but I also like to just give them a little bit more recoil because it's animation. You shouldn't really like you should go crazy with it, you know? Because if it was live action, then well, there's really no point. But animation, you deserve to, kind of just go wild with some things. Be humorous, be wild. I love how the battle droids shoot in this. They don't like their arm doesn't move, their torso doesn't move. They literally just rock back and forth on the stud. I'm playing Among Us with Samurai. I'm gonna have to join y'all right now. We're almost done here. We'll get through Cody's mission, Shadow Armor, then Cad Bane, then I'll join y'all. Ooh, nice shot, knockout. Knock out my man, dude. This guy's awesome. He will be returning in 212 Part 2 for sure. He'll have a little bit of a different look, like I've said before. Gets injured there. Barlex. Oh yeah, Rob. Yes, this is your favorite. You pointed out once that Barlex's waist cape looked wrong. I had no idea what you meant until like a few hours after the stream when I looked at my Barlex figure. I was like, oh, you're right. It's not hanging in the front of him. And I was like, man, this guy's right. So I fixed it later, and it should be fixed in my next film. But yeah, you were right. This waist cape is not on correctly. It's like, I don't know, kind of messed up. Like, these blasters are way too exaggerated. Boom, leg off. And then it blocks the door. By the way, this door is really cool. It's like a giant door, but it's like legitimately the walls just moving. I love that. That's these two clones. These are named. That's Cliff and that's Canvas, if I'm correct. Actually, I think one of them just Canvas. Love the droid humor. Those are just Battlefront 2 voice lines too. We got Boyle in the front here. We got Patcher, Patcher. Wait, is that how you spell it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Patcher, because there's a different patch in the 212. This guy right here, I never named, but he has a different design. Just a white helmet, white arms with the bomb squad kind of armor there. Baraka Studios. What's up, dude? Baraka. That's an interesting name. Baraka. That's the planet from Jedi Fallen Order, right? That's pretty cool. Got Barlex, Knockout, and Patcher right here. And then there's that guy again. So I recently did like a numbers thing, just counting like how many clones were outside and inside the base, and then how many died, to just see if it like was consistent. And I was one off, I think, like with how many survived and how many died and all that. Boyle doesn't do a whole lot in this film. If I were to change one thing besides the shutter flicker, it would be to give Boyle a bit more, I don't know, something else, because this takes place directly after Umbara. Like this is the battle right after it in the timeline. And I would Boyle is just kind of like the guy who just says yes sir the whole time. That's like half his lines. And I would like to see a bit more of like, he just lost his best friend in the battle before this. I would have liked to see just a little bit more like, oh my gosh, like just a little bit, I don't know, depression, I suppose, cuz but do you actually plan to animate your blaster shots in After Effects or something? No, I don't. I like practical effects. That's Astro right there, Captain Astro. And Kenobi, good grief. This Vegas seen better days. My dog chewed up the torso and legs. These legs are actually from a sand people minifigure, like a Tusken Raider. And the torso has a small bite mark right there. So yeah, I need a new Kenobi fic, but Goalie Pak, the villain. And then this droid right here, who doesn't do a whole lot in this film, but he's important, I promise. Mm. Another thing I would change, I would label where we are because this is supposed to be like a secret separatist camp, like way on the other side of the planet, and we're not really told that, but it does look different enough to where it's not like in the base or anything. Yoink! Oh come on, TurboTax. This is an 8-minute video too. I shouldn't be having ads on this. That's disappointing. No, it's not. Nope, nope. Get off my screen. Thank you. I do like Chick-fil-A, but I don't like the deluxe sandwich. Nice. I love that it's literally just like a red mug from Lego City that he's using. Kabam! I love that he's just struggling and then boom, he's dead. Like I would have loved to see Boyle be a little bit more reactive to like them taking their armor because like he lost his brother because they thought the enemy had disguised themselves with clone armor. So it'd be a lot better. You know, this is why I have premium. You have premium? I don't. I've never known anybody with YouTube premium, but that's. I guess it is useful for no ads. Shout out to these two guys. They were just like best buds on guard duty on the front. This is the door, by the way, and they just get. They kind of get insta killed because they have no idea the attack is happening, and they just kind of get the front load of it. They don't have names either. They're just kind of friends. Rob, you actually missed a name one time. No, this isn't a knock on you or anything. It is kind of hard to hear, but this guy's name is Can, Kan. So if you want to add that to the lore thing you got going, this is Can. He dies though, so he doesn't do much. He's just kind of there. What is going to be your next film? Actually, the part two to this. You see, it's part one, part two coming soon. Oh yeah, we got so a little bit of a error here. And there's rarely an error in any of my films, but there's an error here. If you count, there's one, two, three, four. You got Boyle, Canvas, Barlex, and Cody here, and then this guy. That's five total. Still five surrounding them. You can count the guns. Dang, Cody. Cody is so mad right now. Patcher walks up. They call him Patch for short. Barlex is still here. Now there's this bald guy here. Now Barlex is gone. He should be on this right side, but he's gone. And then he picks up. I think this is either Cliff or Canvas. I don't know. I think it's Cliff or either one. And then he should have hit Barlex right here, but Barlex has just disappeared. And that was intentional so that he could hit this guy and be seen by the camera. Barlex, he walked away. That's the in-universe explanation. Nice shot there from Knockout. Dang, this guy takes it. Let me slow that down. Ooh, nice little particle frame there that you can see. The shot hits the tank. Actually destroys that part there. This guy right here. Oh my goodness, he just gets white. This droid somehow survives. RIP. I love that they stacked up their helmets like little snowmen or something. That just shows that these guys are just like they're here to have a good time. You know, they're strong warriors for sure. But Mohawk guy is Canvas. Okay, okay, makes sense. Don't worry, I'll have that correct. I just need to review that. But they just stacked up their helmets. You know, we're not gonna do anything this entire battle. Let's just put the helmets here. R.I.P. These two guys escape here. Oh yeah, yeah. This cannon orientation here is a reference to the old speeder bike with that came with the original Captain Rex minifigure. That's kind of a niche reference, but Barlex escapes. Knockout is limping there, and Boyle does have some emotional pull in this. Like clearly, he just lost Waxer, doesn't want to lose another clone, so he defends Knockout here, allows him to escape, and we get to the helmets over here. Watch this droid; he knocks him over. Also, for this shot, this was every single battle droid I had back here. Like this was every one. So they escape. And then after this, we don't really see Knockout, but he's fine. I promise. He's not dead. He's just like, he just walked a long way with like basically broken feet, I guess. But he's just really injured. Excuse me. So when in doubt, blow something up. Hey, we got him. Or did we? Dun dun dun. Nah, we got him. Or did we? Nah, we got him. Nah, did we? Maybe we did. I think we did. Nah, maybe we didn't. Maybe he's dead. Maybe he's not. We don't know. It's established in this film that Kenobi is in the capital city fighting, but we don't really see that. Maybe I'll make a film about Kenobi's like fighting in the capital. It's not really necessary though. That's the reason why. Next would be Republic Commando, but in Lego we can skip. Not much there. That was an attempt to see if I could release a shorter film and it be successful. As you can see, 3.1 isn't the best, but maybe I'll. So I probably won't release any shorter films like that. Shadow Armor, the most popular here, starts with Zach Boltar getting a message from Luthen. Zach Boltar, pretty popular character, I think. It's basically just my voice. The head of Star Lord, the hair of Cassian Andor, and then the body of somebody from Ninjago. Let's count this guy's kills. Let's count Zach's kills this entire film. I think that'd be interesting. You have Wax's helmet in the barracks near Boyle's bed. That's a good idea. I just need to get Waxer's helmet. All right, that's one kill there. Notice his armor has some bullet holes in it as well. All right, we're gonna look at these rooms because clearly people looked at these rooms. Look at this most replayed thing here. People looked at these rooms just to see what was inside. 100%. This is the weapons. Not much here. Megaphone blaster and then a katana in the corner. We got a med bay with a medical droid. Not much there either. The relic room, which has a ton of Ninjago references. We got the what is this? One of the time blades and then some vermilion armor. And then we got an Old Republic helmet, which I think is pretty cool. I have no idea why this room would be in an Imperial like base, but it is. So then like this control room. Shout out Toaster Productions for this voice right here. Shout out what's his name? Not Toaster. Stormtrooper Creations. Wow, I don't know why it took me so long. One of the best animators out there. Stormtrooper creations for this guy's voice. We're just kind of skipping along because actually, let me full screen this. He tricks him away from the door. So that's 2 kills. R.I.P. Shoves him in a closet like a stealth game. This was partially this film was inspired by Star Wars Outlaws because the sneaking around Imperial base, kind of like Star Wars Outlaws, and Splinter Cell. If y'all have ever played Tom Clancy Splinter Cell games, got a lot of those vibes in here. Skip ahead to where he finds IC-22. 3 kills. Need like a kill count or something. Basically, he reprograms the droid. Ooh, and then we get Grand Admiral Batch. This guy. He doesn't do a lot in this film, but I got some plans for this guy. I think CC Trooper 27 also has a Grand Admiral he's getting to. This is good. The music and everything, like, kind of increasing in beats per minute and, like, getting a little more intense. His helmet, his cap popped up when he got surprised. Also, these black bars on the side were meant to represent like the shadow armor room, but also differentiate from like everywhere else in the base. And much like Thrawn, he just automatically knows everything based on the circulation of the air in the room. He's still at 3 kills, right? Because this is where he gets a couple more. If you haven't seen this, I would totally recommend going and seeing it because you can get the full audio version there. Um, so this entire fight scene was inspired by nonstop animations. Is that his name? Yeah. Nonstop animations. And I actually got him to voice this stormtrooper here on the bottom left, and very fitting because his fight scenes are incredible. Some of the best I've ever seen. Like it's hard to believe it's Lego, but got him to do some stuff. Boom, boom. Classic stormtrooper, only able to hit targets that aren't their targets. Blah blah blah. Exposition. All right, so now he's at 4, 5, 6, 7 kills total. Shout out to my good friend Amelia for giving me this voice. Amelia, one of my great friends since early grade school. Thank you, Amelia. If you're watching this, you're a great friend. Anyway, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kills. Minecraft lever sound effect there. Body check the guy into the wall. That's 7, 8, 9, 10 kills now. Love this. These stormtroopers might be the smartest stormtroopers ever. They like have okay. They could have used a grenade. They could have used any grenade and just blown the guy up. And actually, that might have been smarter now that I think about it. But they didn't, and they used an EMP and disabled his armor for the rest of the film, which is honestly genius. If this is just stupidity or just them being Smart, I don't know. Also, I love the droid popper here. I don't like bragging about myself, but I do. Just if you want a tip, this droid popper animation is kind of cool. It's not bad to be proud of yourself, right? I just don't like to be cocky. Pride is the thief of. Wait, no, I don't know. Trying to quote something. Pride is the thief of joy. I think that's how it goes. Also, they brought shields. I mean, they brought full on shields. Why don't more stormtroopers do that? Love that this box is bulletproof. Best takedown of the film right there. That was sick. So that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 15 kills. Puts a grenade. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 kills, dude. This guy's a menace. This guy has to go. Nah, I'm not gonna kill him off. Or I didn't kill him off in this film, but all right. So if we want to count this droid, it would be 20, but I'm not going to. 21, 22, 23. Wait, no, that'd be 22. 23, 24. 24 kills total, I think. This is the only part of the film where it's like, I don't love this part. Because you can see outside the base and kind of into my room there. I mean, it's dark, but like, I just don't have the resources to, make it terribly bigger. And this starts their big partnership and the end of Commander Mazik here. Boom. So what's he going to do now without the shadow armor? Zach Boltar will return. Indeed, he will. Finally, Cad Bane Jango Fett. It's hot in here. I need to turn on the air. This Ugnaught here. It's not an Ugnaught. He's a. I don't know what he is. This is on. So for this film, this originally wasn't in the film. This was the last scene I filmed actually, but it would have started with when just Bane walks in the office basically. But I was like, well, we need a hook. We need to hook people onto this film and get them watching, right? And a lot that's a good tip for any animators looking to like, how do I boost my viewership and stuff. You wanna you wanna hook the audience quickly because they say like you have 30 seconds to make an impression on the audience if they want to watch something or not. And so for this film, I tried to like in the first 27 seconds kind of get your attention. Like, okay, this guy's cool. Blows the guy up by shutting the door. Shout out Red Dead Redemption 2 for the music, by the way. I thought he was Macus. He might be. I don't know if I said it wrong. Local bar. Oh yeah, when editing this video, my computer, I don't know why, but by the end of it, like it would take like 10 minutes to register one edit. And there was actually an epilogue to this film, which I never released, an entire like 1 minute of film that I couldn't include because I literally could not edit this any longer. But it's also okay because the edit wasn't entirely necessary. The film is still incredible. Well, again, I'm sorry if I'm being cocky or being too full of myself, but I swear I'm not. Anyway, the film is still good on its own, but just the epilogue would have made it a lot better, I think, and it would have bridged into the Starbreak 7 CC Trooper Toaster timeline thing. I really refined the walk in this one too. He walks a bit slower than usual because I actually add another frame in between the studs. Shout out my good buddy James for voicing the bartender, by the way. I forgot I'm not supposed to be watching all of this. But Brown for The Office was a cool choice, I think, just to make it a bit different from the rest of Corellia. And there's our Ninjago reference there. Wait, another Ninjago reference in the direct next frame. Zane right there from Ninjago, kind of walking into an alleyway. CC027 for the voice of Brack right here. Brack is not named, but I mean, I think he is in Huttese right here, but you don't actually hear his name. Poor Django. Bane definitely visited his grave. I don't know if he had a grave, actually. He might have just stayed on Geonosis. Maybe Boba did something. But the epilogue did explore kind of what happened directly after Django's death and what Bane did afterward. That's kind of what it did. Basically, he gets drunk at a bar. Or not drunk, he just kind of like, you know, drinks a lot of water at a bar. He's trying to keep his family friendly. He drinks a lot of water and just kind of is really sad at the bar, which is one of the only times we see Cad Bane be sad, which is something I really wanted to do in this film. Give Cad a bit more emotion, I suppose. Him and Django both. And Cad, thinking with his brain here, totally, not with his instincts, just shoots the guy and ends it. Which is honestly such a stuck up move because, like, this is Django Fett right here, the biggest bounty hunter in the galaxy, and you have the audacity to shoot his target. Like, Bane was not messing around. Like, and he points his guns at him, like, and he knew who he was messing with too, and he was ready. He was ready to go ham on this guy. And then they both kind of concede to an alliance for now. They confront the guy, talk for a solid minute. And there's his ship, the Slave One. He has a little hideout here. I love this part, the shooting range. Sometimes one blaster works better than two. Remember that. The Red Dead 2 music gets me every time. I watch this with my friends, and a lot of them don't play Red Dead 2, but one of them does. And as soon as he heard like the opening music, he looked at me like, "What?" And that was pretty funny. He immediately knew what it was too. They like open up into some personal stuff here, which isn't totally on par with their character, but I took some liberties. This is where things kick into high gear. Ooh, the sniper stuff. It's really fun to do. Really easy too, surprisingly easy. This droid here. The droid that my dog chewed up, by the way, that's what's wrong with it. My dog has chewed up a lot of Legos in the years. Ooh, I love the rangefinder here. Nice. Music just works so well for this film. And then I couldn't really figure out how to cover up his face, so I just kind of left it. I wanted to though, so you wouldn't really know it was a Jedi at first. I'm not sure what good it would do. See anybody in a robe, it's probably a Jedi. I actually did two iterations of this sniper shot here, one with camera shake and one with the gun moving upward. Hard decision there. I eventually just went with the gun moving upward. The hood comes off in that shot. It's kind of hard to see. The sniper thing. So in Canva, I made a PNG of the sniper scope and then overlaid it onto stuff I already filmed, and just kind of went from there. Kind of, the animation would play, but the PNG would stay still, and the clear background in front of the sniper scope would show what he's looking at. So, just some editing magic. I'm not good at hiding sticky tack. Like, just look there. You can see it there. It's so visible. I hate it, but like, okay. Love this like freeze frame here. I love that their goal wasn't to kill the crime bosses, and then Cad, like, as soon as the Jedi runs away, Cad just abandons it and kills them all. You can see I've come a long way from the in Cal Kestis, the lightsaber drag was only at the tip of the blade. Now it's at the full blade here. Again, this fight scene was heavily influenced by nonstop animations work. And how do you survive a grenade to the face? This Jedi apparently does. I love I loved working with Django and his strategy of taking on this Jedi here alone, because I had to take some like I looked at Obi-Wan's fight, and this like I had to look at like, okay, what does he do here, and then like what is he gonna do before that, which is when this battle takes place. I had to decide what would be in there and what wouldn't. So I decided that shooting a rocket at a Jedi would be in there because he does that against Obi-Wan. Getting above the Jedi, something he does as well, and then rapidly just shooting the Jedi until he loses just balance or loses his lightsaber is another thing that I did. But the one thing I didn't do is using the grapple hook to steal the lightsaber. That's something he learned later after this fight. So you just see him evolve a little bit. Again, just moving around, getting out of distance of that blade. That's what you want. How did you manage to stick the sticks onto the lightsaber? Sticky tack. I don't use. I don't like using sticky tack on the arms and legs since it would make it more loose. Sticky tack on arms and legs. Not sure what you mean by that, but let me see if I can find a good frame of it. Okay, there. So you see that sticky tack right there in between the lightsaber and this green piece here. All right, and then you see here, there's two of them. Same concept there. takes his gun. So, and then Django using the fire. That's something he did against Mace Windu as well. So he does know how to do that. Super, super cool fire effects. Proud of that. You can see under his arm here, just barely, there's a little bit of black there to show that he lost his flamethrower. It kind of like went back and kind of exploded. Something I didn't really explore too much. When you knock off Cad Bane's hat, if Cad Bane loses his hat, you know you're done, son. You're done. Cad Bane does not like losing his hat, and he certainly doesn't like it if you have a better hat than him. So if you do anything to mess with Cad Bane and his hat, you're done. His lightsaber is out of reach. Cad Bane thinks about it, puts the blaster away, and uses the one blaster instead of two. Like when Cad got pushed on the wall. Yep, exactly. Love these close-ups too. Pulls out. You can see the Lego logo too. He used the force to grab his lightsaber. Cad Bane shoots. Takes it. Oof. Didn't quite get it in time. Good guys don't always win. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Blows up Arcus. Somebody asked me once, like, how did they get their money? Answered, I don't know. Never really thought about that. Again, this is where the epilogue would be, is after this scene. It was already running at 11 minutes, which is kind of long. I guess it could have been 12 and it would have been fine. Because, I mean, look, you see Cad Bane's mission right there. It's 13 minutes. So, it would have been fine. It's just literally, excuse me, I literally could not edit it anymore because my computer was so laggy. That's probably my favorite film I've made. Cody's Mission is my second favorite. So, that's that. Reacted to all of my videos, and how long have we been streaming for? Hour and 30 minutes. So, I'm gonna go play Among Us now, alright? So, yeah, thank you guys for joining in. Really appreciate y'all. I don't know if I got to cover all the stuff I wanted to, but that's fine. Hope y'all enjoyed it anyway. Shared some cool facts. I got a lot more films coming out soon. So, yeah. Okay, I'll catch you later then, as Arthur Morgan would say from Red Dead Redemption 2. But thank you, and I'll see you guys next